Have you ever left a chat with a lady thinking it went smoothly, only to ponder later if you overlooked something meaningful, something she hinted at without stating it directly? Perhaps she posed a query that appeared light, like how old are you truly, or why are you still single? And you dismissed it, not seeing it was her way of inviting you to explore something deeper. If you're a man past 50, these instances occur more frequently than you might realize, and missing them could mean passing up a genuine bond. In this video, we're exploring the understated signals of interest that women share, those soft inquiries, fleeting looks, and silent gestures that are easy to miss but hold deep significance. You must watch to the end because we're unpacking 8 specific questions women ask when they're intrigued, along with precisely how to reply to keep the invitation alive, so you can stop doubting yourself and start noticing the moments that could transform everything. Before we start, I'd appreciate you giving this video a thumbs up. It helps me keep sharing these timeless insights. If you haven't joined yet, subscribe and activate the bell so you never miss a video. If you enjoy this, please leave a comment with the number 1. If it's not for you, comment 0 to let me know how I can improve next time. Now, let's begin. Question number 1, how old are you? At first, this question might seem like a poke, perhaps even slightly critical, as if she's evaluating your life's path. But when a woman asks, why are you still single? Especially with a gentle tone, a curious head tilt, or a brief pause before speaking, it's not a grilling, it's a hint, carefully cloaked in a relaxed voice. She's not probing for your love history, or aiming to stir up past hurts for fun. What she's really asking is, are you open to love? Is there space in your heart for someone like me? This is a moment of openness disguised as interest, and your response can either strengthen the bond, or close it off before it can blossom. Sadly, this is where many men falter. Some dive into a lengthy tale of their past breakups, losses, or missed chances, as if she's requested a full life story. Others take the opposite path, becoming guarded or resentful, brushing it off with a sharp tried love once, never again, or a bitter why would I want that trouble. Both replies miss the target. The first overwhelms her with unasked for baggage, while the second shuts down hope, suggesting you're still weighed down by old wounds or skepticism. Either way, you've turned a potential opening into a roadblock. What she's seeking isn't a detailed recap of your history, but a glimpse of your now. She wants to know if you're at ease with your journey, if you've sorted through your past, or if you're still lugging it around. The best replies are brief, truthful, and steady, leaving space for hope without lingering on yesterday. Try something like, life's kept me occupied, but I'm ready for something true now. Or, I haven't met the right person yet, maybe I'm getting nearer. These answers don't just respond to the question, they welcome her to picture herself in your tomorrow. Let me share about Harold, a 67-year-old widower with a calm presence and hands that speak of years crafting, wood, and tending earth. One day, while working in a shared garden, he began chatting with a woman over a patch of tomatoes. She was kind and quick to smile, and their talk flowed naturally. Then came the moment she asked, so, why's a man like you not taken? Harold paused, his mind drifting to his late wife, the grief, and the loneliness that followed, unsure what to say. He muttered something vague about life not aligning and swiftly shifted to the weather. The talk went on, but a week later, he noticed she stopped coming to the garden. Looking back, Harold saw his error. I didn't realize it then, he shared, but she wasn't just being kind. She was asking because she saw us together. I closed it off without knowing. This is the nuance of these moments. They don't arrive with loud signs or clear statements. They come softly, wrapped in ordinary questions that seem trivial, until you see, too late, what they meant. From a psychological view, this question is a kind of safety check. She's feeling a spark but won't show her hand unless she knows it's safe. If your reply feels closed, off bitter, or too heavy, she'll pull back, shielding herself from possible rejection or emotional distance. But if you answer with quiet confidence, a hint of warmth, and an openness to what's ahead, you create a space where she feels secure to move closer. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment on number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Thank you for your precious time. Question number 3. Do you date younger women? This question often surprises men, like a curve they didn't expect. Some see it as a boost, swelling with pride as if they've earned a medal of appeal. Others view it as a trick, tensing up or assuming they must step carefully. But here's the reality. When a woman asks, do you date younger women? She's not usually curious about your past partners, or trying to trip you up. She's gently testing the waters to see if you're open to someone like her. More than that, she's asking, could you see me as more than a friend? Does this spark worth sharing matter to you? Or are you after something else? This isn't just about age, it's about possibility. She's exploring the chance of attraction without risking rejection. Most of the time, she does not seek a flat yes or no. She wants a reply that makes her feel noticed, valued, and not measured against some dream partner you might imagine. Unfortunately, many men stumble here. Some boast about younger women they've dated as if auditioning for a role in a youth-obsessed film. Others close off, saying things like, I'm too old for that, dismissing the idea before she can clarify her intent. Both miss the mark. Bragging makes her feel like one of many while shutting down, says you're not interested in what's before you. A better way is to focus on connection, not numbers. Try saying, I don't choose biology, I go by spark and connection. If we vibe, that's what counts. Or, with a bit of charm, I care more about how a woman makes me feel than her birth year. These replies shift from rigid metrics to the moment, showing you're open to her without making her feel judged. Let me tell you about Nathan, a 59-year-old man with a quick wit and a talent for making others feel at ease. One afternoon, he met a woman in her mid-40s at his favorite bookshop. She asked for a memoir suggestion, and their chat turned into coffee across the street. As they laughed and shared tales, she leaned back and asked, Do you usually date younger women? Nathan paused, took a breath, and said, I like women who bring great energy, younger, older, doesn't matter, just that we connect. Her smile wasn't just polite, it was curious. That coffee led to dinner, and dinner to something more. His presence in action, responding with truth and warmth, not fumbling when the question feels layered. Psychologically, this question is a woman's way of navigating her openness. She feels a bond, but needs to know if you're open to it or stuck on a narrow idea of who you want. If your reply feels dismissive or overly focused on youth, she'll step back, assuming there's no space for her. But if you meet her with clarity and curiosity, you show you're ready to explore what's possible together. At our age, attraction isn't about clever lines or proving you're young. It's about being yourself and responding in a way that builds trust and leaves room for hope. When she asks if you date younger women, she's not always asking about age. She's asking if she has a shot. That door is slightly ajar. The only question is whether you reply in a way that invites her to step through or lets it quietly shut. Question number 4. What kind of woman do you usually like? This question might seem relaxed, almost like idle chat to fill a quiet moment. But when a woman asks, what kind of woman do you usually like? She's doing much more than passing time. She's measuring herself against the image you're about to describe, wondering if she fits your vision or falls outside it. This isn't about making a list or filling a profile, it's about seeing if she could be the one you're seeking. She's asking, could I be your match? Do I align with what you cherish? Your answer will either encourage her interest or gently suggest the bond may not grow. Here's where many men miss the point. They take the question too literally, rattling off a detailed portrait of their dream partners, who's slim, loves travel, has red hair, and enjoys jazz as if ordering from a menu. What they don't see is that she's listening closely, not just to your words, but to what your answer says about how you view women. She's wondering if you're chasing a shallow fantasy that no longer fits, or if you're open to a real bond with the woman before you. A list of traits can make her feel judged against an impossible ideal. And if she doesn't match, say she's not a traveler or her hair is gray, she may quietly assume she's not your match and withdraw. The smarter move is to answer with care, focusing on qualities that are meaningful and broad enough to include her if she's interested. Say something like, I'm drawn to women who are kind, who bring a sense of wonder and care to a talk, someone who can smile even on a tough day. Or, I like women who are true, strong, confident, and make me want to be better. These replies don't exclude her with narrow standards. They create a space where she can see herself and feel she has a chance to connect. To show this, let me share about Samuel, a 62-year-old retired mechanic with a warm smile and a heart full of quiet resilience. He met a woman through a community project, and their easy banter grew as they worked together on a neighborhood cleanup. One afternoon, while fixing a gate, she asked, So, what kind of woman do you usually like? Without overthinking, Samuel said, I guess I like someone steady, someone who makes a place feel calm just by being there. She didn't reply right away, but later, she stayed to help clean up tools. As he thanked her, she smiled and said, I hoped I was your kind. This is the strength of answering with presence, not performance. You're not reciting lines or trying to dazzle, you're creating a moment where attraction can grow. Psychologically, this question is a form of self-screening. She's gathering clues to decide whether to invest more or protect herself from rejection. If your reply feels rigid or overly focused on an ideal, it suggests you might not be as open to her as she is. But if you speak to qualities she can see in herself, you affirm her interest and invite her to come closer. If you're still watching and finding these lessons valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're with me. Thank you for your precious time. Question number 5. Are you always this engaging? This question often comes with a smile, perhaps a soft chuckle, or a playful head tilt. It feels like a compliment, and it is, but it's also much more. When a woman asks, are you always this engaging? She's not just noting your charm or wit, she's signaling a deeper spark. A flicker of interest she's bold enough to voice, but careful enough to frame as a question. It's a delicate step, one that invites you to move forward without demanding it outright. In that moment, she's doing 2 things, letting you know she feels the connection and checking if you can sustain that energy without letting it fade. For many men, this is a key moment they don't fully grasp. The question is an opening, a rare chance where attraction surfaces, gentle but clear. The compliment is real, but the subtext matters most. She's wondering, can you stay present with the warmth I'm offering, or will you shy away? It's not about being engaging all the time. It's about whether you can handle her noticing you without deflecting or making it a joke. Unfortunately, many men stumble here. They sense the shift, but retreat, tossing out a self-deprecating line like, only on Fridays, or a vague, guess I'm in a good mood. These replies, while safe, deflate the moment. The spark she offered fades, and the chance passes. Why? Because those answers signal a step back from the bond she's trying to build. They say, I'm not ready to meet you here. Instead, what works is a reply that's light yet anchored, playful yet real. Try something like, only when I'm with someone who sparks it in me, or, I save it for moments that feel this good. These answers don't just keep the talk going. They honor her courage in opening the door and invite her to step through with you. Let me share about Edward, a 68-year-old widower with a reserved nature and a love for history. At a book club, he sat across from a woman named Anne, who shared his passion for old novels and classic films. Their talk flowed easily, and as the evening ended, she leaned in, her eyes bright, and said, Are you always this engaging, or is it just tonight? Edward could have brushed it off, but he paused, met her gaze and replied with a warm smile. That depends. Are you always this curious, or am I just fortunate? Anne's eyes stayed on his, and later, she admitted his reply made her feel seen, not just as a reader but as a woman. That moment, Edward said, felt like the start of something true. They still meet for coffee and bookstore visits months later. Psychologically, this question is a subtle escalation. Women, especially in later years, often show interest indirectly, not to play games, but to navigate their openness. Asking, Are you always this engaging? Is a way of saying, I feel something, and I'm curious if you do too. It's an invitation to deepen the bond without pushing too far too fast. Your reply matters because it shows whether you're emotionally open and willing to engage in this gentle dance of connection. A good answer doesn't overpromise. It simply shows you're present. You see her, and you're not afraid to let the moment linger. So, if a woman asks if you're always this engaging, resist the urge to sidestep. Lean into the moment. Let your tone, your gaze, and your words say, I'm here, and I'm not afraid of this spark. Because when you do, you create a space where she feels safe to keep exploring, keep connecting, keep opening up, and that's where the real magic starts. Question number 6. Why are you still single? This question might seem direct, even casual, but don't be misled. It's one of the most telling signs of a woman's interest. When she asks, Why are you still single? She's not just filling a silence or making small talk. She's gently probing. To understand your emotional world, she's asking, Are you open to love? Is there room in your life for someone like me? Have you shut the door on closeness? Or are you still able to let someone in? It's a question with weight, and your reply can either draw her nearer or suggest your heart is closed. Many men, without realizing it, respond in ways that end the conversation. They might say, I'm too stuck in my ways, or, I value my independence too much, or even, relationships are just too much trouble now. These answers, though honest, often seem guarded or jaded. They send a message, I'm not truly open. And just like that, the woman who is brave enough to ask feels she's hit a barrier. She might nod and smile, but inside, she's stepping back not because she lost interest, but because your reply suggested there's no space for her to come closer. The truth is, she's not just asking about your status, she's asking about your emotional openness, whether you're still willing to embrace connection, or if life's setbacks have closed you off. The best response leaves the door slightly open, hinting at hope without making promises you can't keep. Try saying, I've been taking my time, waiting for someone who feels like a true surprise. Or, I've been focused on living well, but I'm always open to something that feels right. These replies don't just answer, they keep the conversation alive, giving her a reason to stay curious about you. Let me tell you about Thomas, a 71-year-old retired engineer with a sharp sense of style and a calm, steady presence. He was at an art exhibit, admiring a sculpture when a woman named Clara started a conversation. They talked about art, travel, and life's simple joys after retirement. After a while, Clara leaned in, her voice soft but clear, and asked, Why are you still single? Thomas didn't hesitate. He looked at her, his eyes calm, and said, I've been busy becoming a better man now. I'm ready for a better kind of love. Clara didn't look away. Later that evening, she told a friend Thomas's reply, which made her feel he was someone worth knowing and someone who hadn't given up on the connection. They've since gone on several dates, each one deepening their bond. From a psychological view, this question is a woman's way of testing your openness without revealing too much of her own heart. Women in midlife and beyond are often just as scared of rejection as men, if not more. They've lived through heartaches, losses, or long stretches of solitude, and asking this is a brave act, a bid for connection. A way of saying, I'm interested, but I need to know if it's safe to keep going. Your reply is your chance to show you're not just single, you're open emotionally, and ready for something real. So, when she asks why you're still single, please don't give her a reason to close the door. Give her a reason to step through it, to stay curious, to see you as a man who's still open to being surprised by love. If you're still watching and finding these lessons valuable, please comment on number 3 below to let me know you're with me. Thank you for your precious time. Question number 7. Would you date someone like me? This is the big one though. Question that feels like a quiet confession, spoken with a moment of courage. When a woman asks, would you date someone like me? She's not seeking flattery or playing a game. She's bearing her heart as openly as she can without saying the words outright. This question, often delivered with a light tone, a nervous smile, or a glance away, is as close as she might come to saying, I'm interested in you, and I'm wondering if you could feel the same. It's about her, and in that moment, she's risking rejection, hoping you'll meet her with equal bravery. Too many men miss or mishandle this moment. They freeze, unsure what to say, or play it safe with a vague maybe, I don't know, or a topic change that leaves her feeling exposed. Worse, some deflect with humor that falls flat, like someone like you. I'd need to think about it. These replies, even if meant lightly, can make her regret asking. They signal unease or disinterest, and just like that, she pulls back, because she didn't mean it, but because she feels alone in her openness. The right reply doesn't need to be grand. It just needs to be warm, honest, and present. Try saying, I'd count myself fortunate if I could, or, if someone like you is asking, I'd be foolish to say no. Then pause. Let the words sink in. Let her feel your sincerity. I'll never forget the story of Robert, a 66-year-old former teacher with a tough exterior but a gentle heart. He was on a walk with a woman named Susan, someone he'd met through friends. They'd been taking it slow, enjoying long talks about life, family, and the beauty of a quiet evening. One night, as the sky glowed orange, Susan stopped, looked at him and asked softly, would you date someone like me? Robert didn't rush. He turned to her, his face softening, and said, I'd be a fool not to. Susan didn't reply right away, she just took his hand, and they kept walking, the silence between them warm and full of promise. Psychologically, this question is a woman's way of testing the waters while guarding her heart. In midlife or later, women know love isn't certain, and asking this is an act of bravery, a way of saying, I'm still here, still hoping, still willing. Your reply is your chance to honor that bravery, to let her know she's seen, valued, and wanted. You don't need to promise forever, you need to show up, present, and let her know her openness wasn't a mistake. So, when she asks if you'd date someone like her, recognize the moment's weight. It's not a test, it's a gift. Meet it with honesty, warmth, and a touch of courage, because when you do, you're not just answering, you're telling her she's still capable of sparking something real, something worth feeling. The power of silent signals. Not every sign of interest is a question. Sometimes the strongest messages are the ones she doesn't voice. Older women, in particular, are often skilled at subtlety, sharing their feelings through gestures, glances, and the quiet language of presence. If you're not attentive, you might miss these entire land with them, the chance to deepen a bond. Have you ever noticed a woman tilt her head slightly as you speak, her eyes lingering on yours just a moment longer than feels ordinary? Or perhaps, she smiles at something you said, even if it wasn't especially clever, her expression lingering as if she's savoring the moment. These aren't chances, they're intentional, often unconscious invitations to notice her. Then there are physical cues, a gentle touch on your arm as she speaks, standing just a bit closer than needed, mirroring your stance, or leaning in when you do. These show she's not just there, she's engaged, aware of you, and hoping you're aware of her, too. I think of James, a 70-year-old widower who hadn't dated in years. He joined a local book club and met a woman named Ellen, who started sitting beside him at meetings. Over time, he noticed small things: the way she leaned toward him during talks, the way her hand grazed him when passing a drink, the way her eyes held him when they parted. He didn't think much of it at first, assuming it was kindness. But when Ellen stopped attending as often, James realized how much he missed those quiet moments of warmth. She was waiting for me to see, he told me later, regretful in his voice. I didn't notice until she was gone. Physiologically, humans are built to pick up these silent cues. Eye contact, closeness, and mirroring are primal signs of attraction, rooted in connections biology. But as we age, especially after a loss or long solitude, we can doubt what we see. We tell ourselves, she's just being nice, or, I'm overthinking this. But what if you're not? What if her lingering look or soft touch is her way of saying, I see you, and I hope you see me too? Your role isn't to overthink or doubt, it's to stay present. To notice the details you might have missed in younger, busier years. Watch her eyes, her posture, and the rhythm of her breath when she listens. Ask yourself, what is she saying without words? Sometimes, the deepest signals come not in questions but in the quiet spaces between them, where connection, curiosity, and possibility thrive. That's a wrap on decoding those subtle signs of interest women share, especially after 50. We've explored the gentle questions, the silent cues, and the moments that might have passed unnoticed until now. So, what have you gained? Maybe it's seeing that a simple question like, are you always this engaging? Is more than idle talk. Or perhaps it's the value of staying present when a woman opens that door. I want to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned from this video that you'll bring into your life? Please share it in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation alive. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more honest conversations to help you live your fullest life.